Okay, so let's discuss or continue to discuss our topic of dividing polynomials. But with this time, we're not just gonna have a monomial on top, we're gonna have a binomial or a trinomial, which can have multiple terms on top. Now, we will still continue to have a single term on bottom. Now, I wanna tell you guys something, and maybe you've been told this before, or maybe not. Division is like multiplication. In fact, it is multiplication. Any division problem can be rewritten as multiplying by just multiplying by the reciprocal. So 8n squared minus 36n divided by 4n is the same exact thing as saying times 1 over 4n. Okay, it's the same exact thing. Nothing is different. I know maybe it looks different to you, or and you don't like that way because you got a fraction going involved. But the idea here is that I want to let you know that when you're dividing, it's going to be the same as when you were multiplying. Here, multiplying, you know that you have to distribute it to each term, correct? So that's going to be the same thing that we're going to do here. We have to divide my monomial on the bottom into each term on the top, okay? So my first step that I want you guys to do is I want you to rewrite. I want you to rewrite it so that it's two different division problems. Distribute it, okay? Divide each piece by those 4 ends, just like if you were distributing when you're multiplying, right? You have to multiply that term into each one inside of your parentheses. That's the same thing we got going on here, okay? That's the same thing here. So it will help if you rewrite it this way, okay? All right, now you can simplify just how we did previously. 8 divided by 4 leaves me 2. N squared divided by n leaves me n, minus 36 divided by 4 leaves me 9. N divided by n is just 1. And 9 times 1 is just 9. So there's no reason for me to write the 1 anymore. It's like they go away, okay? All right, so I got 2n minus 9. All right, same thing I got going on here. I want to separate this. So you know you have separate terms if you see a plus sign or a minus sign in between a bunch of variables, okay? That's what splits them into different terms. So I have negative 14 x 12th y to the 5th divided by 7x squared y squared plus 7x squared y squared all over 7x squared y squared, okay? All right, so let's do some simplifying. I've got 14 divided by 7. I get negative 2 left. Okay, can you guys see that? Going a little over. X to the 12th divided by x to the 2nd is x to the 10th. And then y to the 5th divided by y squared is y cubed. Now, look at this, guys. I got 7 divided by 7. That's just the number 1. So sometimes I cross it out and say that goes away. X squared divided by x squared, it goes away. Y squared divided by y squared, it goes away. Does that whole thing just go away? The reason I say things that just go away is usually because it equals 1. Like here, n divided by n equals 1. And 9 times 1 is still just 9, so I don't have to write the 1. Well, I can't just leave this plus sign hanging out and not write anything there, okay? The number 1 does matter. When you add 1, it does matter. You can't just make it all go away. Now, if I said 1 and we had a z left over, then I don't have to write the 1, okay? But I don't have anything left over, so it's important that you are writing the 1, okay? If that confuses you, it probably should, okay? Because math is confusing sometimes. But just stick with it, all right? Believe me, if you have questions, just let me know, okay? Okay, so with these worksheets, these last 2 pages, we're just gonna stick to doing the odd ones so you guys can cross out all the even ones. Oh, let me get a marker that works. Cross out all of the even ones, okay. All right, so when you have multiple terms on the top, you need to split it up. So then you have 6x divided by 3 plus 9 divided by 3, okay? 6 divided by 3 is 2, x, you still just have your x, plus 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay, so make sure that you take a little bit of time to rewrite it, okay, it'll help. So I have 8a cubed divided by a minus 2a squared divided by a plus 5a divided by a. And so what's that's gonna give me? I have 8a cubed divided by a is a squared. 2a squared divided by a is a, plus 5. And since those a's are just equal to 1, and 5 times 1 is 1, I don't need to write the 1 because it's a factor, okay? It's a factor. A factor of 1 doesn't change anything. Okay, I am gonna leave number 5 for you. Be careful, guys. I see my last term is gonna be 3c divided by 3c. Make sure you write a 1 for that, okay? Don't make that just go away. Okay, let's do 7 and 9. So I've got negative 20x squared divided by 5x minus 5x divided by 5x. All right, negative 20 divided by 5 is a negative 4. X squared divided by x is just x. Minus, well, 5 divided by 5 is 1, and x divided by x is 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, make sure you're writing those 1s. Okay. Taking my time. I'm gonna rewrite. I know it seems like it's a lot, but it'll only take us a second. Plus 30x squared y to the 5th divided by negative 5x squared y. Okay. Negative 25 divided by 5 is a positive 5. X to the 4th divided by x squared is x squared. Y to the 3rd divided by y is y squared. All right. So before I write this plus sign, let's think about this. I have a positive divided by a negative. That will leave me with a negative, right? 30 divided by 5 is 6. X squared divided by x squared is just 1. And negative 6 times 1 is still negative 6. Well, not write that. Y to the 5th divided by y is y to the 4th. Okay, I'm gonna leave number 11 and 13 for you guys. Actually, no, I'm gonna do number 13. Okay, so let's take a little bit of time to rewrite. Okay, so everything's underneath there, nice and neat, okay? Let's start going. So I have negative 24 divided by 3 is negative 8. X to the 7th divided by x to the 5th is x squared. Now, here on these next couple, I want us to be careful because my term on the bottom, my monomial on the bottom has a higher power, okay, than the one on the top. So when I say 3 minus 5, I would have negative 2, but I don't like negatives, okay? So what I would prefer to do is I would prefer to keep my exponents, my variables on the bottom. So like this, like I've got 9 divided by 3 is just 3, okay? So let's make our fraction. If you have 3 factors of x on top and 3 factors of x on top and 5 factors of x on bottom, when you cancel them out, you'll have 2 factors of x remaining. But where will they be? They'll be on the bottom, right? Okay, if you have 3 on top and 5 on the bottom, you start canceling them all out, you still have ones left on the bottom, not on the top. Same over here. 15 divided by 3 is 5. But where will your x's be after they cancel? You have 1 on top and 5 on the bottom. Once they start canceling out, you're still going to have 4 on the bottom, okay? So sometimes you'll be left with, when you simplify, those variables up on the bottom, okay? All right, I'm going to do number 15. Okay, so I went ahead and rewrote it already for you. Okay, you don't have to sit through me writing all the mumbo jumbo up there. But so what we're going to do is we're going to divide our coefficients. 28 divided by 4 leaves me 7. X to the 5th divided by x squared, I still have 3 x's on the top. Y to the 4th divided by y squared, I still have 2 y's on the top. And z cubed divided by z is going to be, or z squared is z. Okay. Now I notice all of my ones on top are bigger, so I'm not going to have any variables left in the denominator. And I'm sorry, this is a little, can't see that. There you go. All right, 8 divided by 4 is 2. X to the 4th divided by x squared is x squared. Y cubed divided by y squared is y. Z squared divided by z squared is just 1. And I'm not going to write a multiply by 1, so just get rid of that there. And I am complete. Okay, we just got a couple more to do. So I've got this division followed by a multiplication. So what I want to do to make my life a little bit easier, I think I'm going to do my division first and then multiply these, okay? So when we divide, I want to make sure that I split that up. Now, the one thing that I want to make sure that we understand though is that this fraction bar acted almost as if it was a parentheses, okay? It kept everything together, all right, without having to write a parentheses. So now that we split it up, it's going to be important that we keep those terms together because I want to multiply this whole value by that whole fraction. And so when you split it up, you eliminated that imaginary parentheses. So now you got to put them back in there, okay? Times 2x minus 1. Okay, so 15 divided by 3 is 5. X squared divided by x is x. Plus 6 divided by 3 is 2, and x divided by x is just 1. And 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so it's important that we kept that in the parentheses so that we know we're going to multiply each term by each term. All right, I'm going to write it up here. So I've got 5x times 2x gives me a 10x squared. 5x times negative 1 is a negative 5x. You still see that? 2 times 2x gives me a positive 4x. And then 2 times negative 1 gives me negative 2. Okay, the only thing that's left to do is combine my like terms. 10x minus x minus 2. 10x squared, sorry. Minus x minus 2. Okay, so for our last one that we're gonna do, I do wanna make sure that I multiply, get everything on top simplified before I do my division. So I've got 2 terms times 2 terms, so I gotta multiply each piece by each piece, okay? I know that because I've got these 2 parentheses butt up right next to each other, so that means multiply. All right, this first guy ends up being m to the 4th, n to the 4th. And then here we've got plus m to the 3rd, n to the 3rd. Here we have minus m to the 3rd, n to the 3rd. And then finally we have minus m squared, n squared. Okay, all over mn. Now we're not simplified totally on top because we have like terms, but what's nice is that those terms go away, right? Mn, m to the 3rd, n to the 3rd, blah, blah, blah. I can't even say it, so I'm not going to try. But if you notice up here, we have those conjugates that we were talking about. So let's go ahead and split this up. I have m to the 4th, n to the 4th divided by mn minus m squared, n squared divided by mn. Okay, so what are we left with? We'll have, I'm going to write this down here so you can see it. M to the 3rd, n to the 3rd, minus mn. It's like they're trying to make it difficult for me to say it. So, all right, I hope that went okay. And if you need any help, just let me know.